Hey guys, Ronnie Soud here. Today I want to talk to you about an important but often misrepresented analytics metric, and that is bounce rate. Okay, so I hear this from a lot of clients. They're concerned that they have a very high bounce rate, on their site. Here's the thing. When you look at those top level metrics, that's an average. Okay, so it's averaging pages that have a decent and okay bounce rate versus pages that have a really bad bounce rate. So how you should be viewing the bounce rate metric is either page by page or website section by website section. And what I mean by that is, what's the bounce rate of the home page versus the bounce rate of your service pages, okay, or your product pages versus the bounce rate of your blog posts. Okay, so all of those are probably going to have three separate metrics. And when you look at just the top level macro report, it's going to give you an average of all three. That's not very accurate, and it's not going to show you where you need to make improvements. Okay. Now, also, if you're running things like digital ad campaigns, and you're running like a Facebook and Instagram campaign that might be sending people to a landing page that's asking them to opt in using their email address, let me tell you something. This is automatically going to have a higher than average bounce rate, okay? Because a lot of people are going to come, they're not going to want to submit their email, and they're just going to bail. So having a 70-80% bounce rate on an opt-in page is not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's just that those people were, kind of checking out what you had to offer. They weren't ready to opt in quite yet. But also, if you have an 80% bounce rate, guess what? Then you probably have a 20% conversion rate, and that's actually really good. So you have to take the page content into consideration. And also the intent of that page, what we're asking people to do. So I just gave you that opt-in page as an example of something that's artificially, it's almost always going to have a high bounce rate. Something that should have more of like a lower tier bounce rate is like your service pages. So if you're running Google Ads campaigns for something that you offer, like custom, cabinet contractor, Jacksonville, Florida, if you're running an ad on that particular keyword on Google, they click it and they come to your custom cabinet building page, then you should have a lower bounce rate theoretically, because you should be doing a good job of explaining your service, your craft, your process, so on and so forth, to take people on down the page and then getting them to click to a second page, thus lowering the bounce rate. Now, I want to give you some helpful advice. What do you do if you have a high bounce rate on a really important page? So in this example, I want to say it's a service or a product page. Those are important pages, okay? Because that's what users are using to judge if they want to buy from us. If your bounce rate on those pages is 70, 80, 90%, maybe even 65%, you need to look into two things. Number one, if you're sending ads to those pages, make sure the ad is crystal clear about what they're clicking on and what they're going to get in terms of a landing page after they click, okay? Basically, what I'm saying is don't use a bait and switch tactic, okay? Make sure that the ad creative, the picture, the video, and the copy is accurate for what you're offering. So when someone clicks, when they get to the landing page, it corresponds beautifully to what you were telling them within the ad, okay? That's number one. Number two is on your service pages and your product pages there, you might need to improve your content, all right? And we're coming out with a whole series on this. Content on your website is so vital, especially if you're paying for ads, because it's costing you money. So you want to make sure that the content on your website is strong, all right? That means taking a good look, making sure that the page is scannable, making sure that there's headlines and subheadlines that make sense, okay? Looking at the photos and the videos that you have on there, making sure that that gives a clear and accurate representation of the service and the product that you offer, and that it's also properly relaying your unique selling points, your benefits, and your features to the customers, okay? Also, if you feel like you have good content, you might want to look into maybe rearranging some of it and trying it in a different order, okay? This is a test. all right? And that's how we should be looking at digital marketing, which is testing a lot of things. I'm very big on that. As all of my clients know, I'm always wanting to beef up service and product pages, test new content, and see if we can't get results to improve. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Again, bounce rate, go take a look at your bounce rate at individual pages and start working on creating better content for the ones whose bounce rates are too high. So if you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Bye.